Warning, this video contains flashing lights which may not be suitable for people. I was reading that. Oh, shiny! Flashy. Oh, the horror of Unreal! God, all this game looks so good. I completely forgot Expedition 33 is actually made in Unreal Engine 5. The game looks so good, but like, I just feel like the performance is shit. We're getting a new Rocket League game, and it's insane the fact like people are still playing that game. Oh, Lara Croft is so beautiful. She's so beautiful. Why am I so in love with Lara Croft, dude? Oh. I'm gonna die alone. Anyways.
Hi everyone, welcome to Unreal Fest. Are you ready? Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you so much for joining us here in Chicago, and thanks to everyone watching on the live stream. Once again, we're joined by luminaries from AAA game studios, indie teams, Fortnite creators, and filmmakers who are all shaping the future of entertainment. And we've got innovators from robotics, architecture, automotive, and so many more industries who are taking the power
I am back, and yeah, I don't know, I haven't fully really charged the buds. That's okay. Sorry,
of
I
Unreal
just
to new frontiers.
Should have been full.
There are over 100 sessions and hands-on labs to choose from.
Is the volume
So if
okay,
you don't
guys?
have the event app yet, take a quick snap of this QR code, download it, and build
I
your
love
plan
Lara,
for the
she's
next
so pretty,
few
and
days.
another one says dinosaur. Yeah.
Be sure to check out all the demos and games on the expo floor.
We're both different.
Swing by the Learning
It's okay.
Theater
We're
along with
both
the Dev Lounge.
have
We can get some
our
technical help
own
from
way
our
of
team.
like looking things for you. It's okay.
So we're here to celebrate your success and give you a glimpse of where we're headed in the future.
Is the volume okay, guys?
We have
or
a
no?
lot of great stuff to show, but just a heads
Like, is it
up,
too
we're
loud?
not
Is
doing
it too low?
a live
Let me
tech
know.
demo on stage this year. The team's been really hard at work making an awesome new engine release and building the foundation of Unreal Engine 6, which you'll hear more about later. Before we get into what's new,
They better
we want to
make
give a shout out to
better
a few
optimization
groundbreaking
for this game,
projects.
actually. For the engine.
Last year, just before Unreal Fest, Sandfall Interactive released
Use good,
Claire
I think.
Obscure
What about
Expedition
the-
33, which
The
give it
video.
up, which became the breakout hit of 2025. And now, a year later, the
Yeah,
game has
it's such a
received
good
over
game.
500 awards, the
It's
most
such a
awarded
good
game
fucking game,
in
dude.
history. Congratulations to the team for all of your
Excuse me.
achievements, and we can't wait to see what's next. Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders is also a good game.
Is
yes.
another huge success story. From October
about the finals, though?
to February, the extraction shooter sold more than 14 million copies. Embark built the game's massive open world, leveraging UE5 and Epic Online Services voice chat capabilities to give millions of players an awesome social experience at a peak scale
I love
of
Arc Raider. It's such a
960,000
casual
concurrent users.
game for people who wants to get into extraction shooter game. You know, it's such a
K-pop
good game.
Demon Hunters was the most watched movie in Netflix history, winning 2 Academy Awards, a landmark moment for the animation industry. Sony Pictures Animation and ImageWorks transformed their pipeline by moving to real-time previs and layout, using Unreal Engine to cut production time by an estimated 25%. That's months
Really?
of work saved.
25%
And because the
is
team
good.
used real-time ready
Someone play
assets in
Arc Raiders, I'm
production,
miserable.
we were able to pull
Girl,
off
we
a
can play
Fortnite
together
collab in
if you
record
want.
time.
Do you want to play together?
This was a full ecosystem moment that kicked off with a Demon Rush limited time mode, and it
There's a
continued
new
across
update coming
Blitz,
out soon later.
Reload,
For
and
Arc
Zero
Raider.
Build, with cosmetics in the item shop. We did all of this and launched UEFN developer tools in 2 months.
I don't have it downloaded
Unreal
too,
continues to
actually.
gain
Don't
momentum
worry.
beyond
We can
entertainment.
play next time.
SAS is an enterprise leader in enterprise analytics, AI, and data management. They're developing incredibly complex Unreal Engine digital twin simulations across industrial manufacturing,
I don't want
worker safety, life sciences,
I said the
and
game
other
is actually
industries.
worth the money, but
Now,
if
these
you're not a
digital
big fan
twins
of
help
action
businesses
shooter,
make
don't buy it.
operational decisions in
But
simulation
I would say it's a really good
before a single machine
casual
moves,
way of like
a single
getting
worker
into
is put at risk, or a single dollar is spent on the wrong configuration. All of this, games, animation, and enterprise solutions built on Unreal Engine 5. Now, we revealed UE5 6 years ago. Since then, release by release,
6 years.
we've shipped many features required to deliver stunning, high-fidelity open worlds
That's so
running
long
at 60
ago.
frames per second.
Jeez.
We've also been working to unlock real workflow improvements so you can create faster and more efficiently. Nanite minimized
It still
manual
looked very
LOD
muddy.
pipelines.
Unfortunately,
Lumen
it very
nearly
much
eliminated
looks very
light
muddy.
baking. MetaHuman reduced the time to make great-looking characters from months to days to even minutes.
Really?
Sequencer and Control Rig made it possible to animate really complex character performances in-engine without leaving the editor.
That is very,
World
very
Partition
impressive.
made streaming massive open worlds possible without leaning on critical engineering resources. It's hard to believe it's been 6 years since the launch of UE5.
But
it's inspiring to see
I know
what
you
you've
are
done.
a big whore for it. I know you're
To
such
share
a
what's
big
in our latest
whore
release,
for
please
IEMs,
welcome
don't worry.
Mon ami, Simon Tourangeau.
Woo!
Thanks, Bill. Good morning.
Hello.
Great to be back to share the latest on Unreal Engine. Over the last few releases, the feedback we've heard most from studios is make it fast, make
No!
it stable. So we've been
Yes.
focused on exactly that.
Make it stable,
performance. Take 5.7.
Okay.
We improved performance by up to 25% on the GPU and up to 35% on the CPU,
Okay.
giving you smoother frame rates.
Okay. 25%,
Today,
25%
we're
are not a
releasing
good,
Unreal Engine
are
5.8,
pretty good numbers.
which is all about building on that momentum to give you more headroom, fewer hitches, and less friction between an idea and what you can actually ship.
Okay.
A big part of
Okay.
5.8 is maturity. Systems that were experimental or beta in previous releases are now crossing the line into production readiness. The headliner is megalights. Thousands of dynamic shadow casting lights and area lights in a scene at a fixed cost. What used to be a performance lift becomes a creative tool. Artists can light with fewer compromises,
What game is
and teams
this?
can spend less time
What
budgeting
the,
every
what the
dynamic light.
heck is this?
Around it,
I love
Lightlink
Blue.
Hub, Movie Render Graph, Chaos Cloud
I've been
authoring
neglecting
through
the
data
use of
flow,
new IEM
Audio
release because I
Insights,
need
and
money.
Iris are production
Focus
ready
on
too.
yourself first, don't worry. Those
We also made
IEMs
it
can come
simpler
later.
to scale to the different platforms. Lumen, our dynamic global illumination system, now has a lightweight mode called Lumen Light, designed to preserve much of the visual impact at a significantly lower GPU cost. That makes Lumen viable where it wasn't before, including on Switch 2. And that work is already helping drive further nanite optimization efforts for the platform.
Oh no, Shake, don't look. Look what?
Now, let's talk
Oh, no,
about
Shake, I
something
hand out.
every
It's a
developer in
Switch
this room
2,
has
don't
felt.
worry. I'm allergic to that, don't worry.
Yeah, the hitch, the frame spike, the long shader compile.
Okay.
The moment your
Okay,
game
I
pauses
respect
and you
that.
wonder
They acknowledge
where all
that.
that time went. A huge part of that problem is shaders. So we've
yes.
sharpened the compiler and improved the duplication to strip out redundant work. Less to compile, less to load, less getting in your way.
Okay.
In Fortnite, that work combined with content changes contributed to a 68% reduction in shader count. Faster cooks, faster loads, lighter memory.
68% reduction in shader count? Oh,
Jason
really?
and John's talk tomorrow
wow.
goes deep on how they got there.
Okay.
But shaders are only half the story. The other half is pipeline state objects, or PSOs. A PSO is the bundle the GPU needs to draw an effect. Shaders, blend modes, render state, all of it.
So far, it looks pretty
Miss one at
decent.
runtime, and the driver has to assemble and compile it on the spot. That's your hitch. And those are the bugs that are notoriously hard to hunt. Luckily, we have just the guy to do it.
What the hell?
So in 5.8, we've improved
Hitch
PSO
hunter.
pre-caching. Fallback rendering is far less visible while PSOs are still compiling. And the whole system is easier to tune.
Okay, I'm holding. All right, get your grapes. I'll wait for you. Don't worry. Oh yeah, but I completely forgot. Someone please remind me to actually spin the wheel for Rosakai because we're gonna do because Rosakai actually gifted a sub for 30 for another 10 actually. So we might need to do that. Where is the sub call? There it is. It's already 31 this time. I'm waiting for Ryu. Ryu better say something that she's back, okay? If she doesn't actually say she's back, I'm about to actually pissed off. Mm. And to those who are like, and to those viewers who actually watch this from the VOD, please skip time ahead. I'll probably put a timestamp or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. VOD? Yes, I will make this as a VOD. Yes, I will make this as a VOD for the YouTube channel. I think this is actually something important. I think like the main channel is gonna be more focused on like the gaming news, and like the second channel would be me just like renting out something. I just personally do think it's just need to be said. I haven't. Who the frick? Oh, it could be the same guy who just played with me. Yeah. Thank you for everyone cooperation and understanding. You're welcome. Now, can we move on? You do? Oh my god, finally. Yeah, I do. I actually uploaded videos. I upload VODs from the streams. Well, not VODs. I upload like some parts of like the moment from the VOD to actually make it like more focused, you know? Like if there's a topic about me renting out about God of War Alpha, I actually did cut out the whole entire part of that and just uploaded that only that onto the main channel. And like like the Xbox and the State of Play, Nintendo Switch, and also like some Game Fest. I uploaded those on my main channel. You guys can see it. It's like literally there if you want to have fun with it. But anyways, let's move on.
Debug, and profile. These are not flashy changes, but if you've been chasing itches, you'll feel the difference the first time you boot.
Okay.
And we're not done. We're working with Microsoft and hardware partners on advanced shader delivery, a DirectX 12 initiative that allows us to ship pre-compiled shaders to players, moving more shader work out of the player's runtime experience. The rollout is ramping, and we'll let you know more about this soon. Now, here's a brand new experimental feature we're shipping in 5.8.
Okay.
Mesh terrain.
What?
We wanted to move beyond the limits of height map-based landscapes, where every point can only move in one direction, and the fixed grid means you can't adjust the resolution to add detail or optimize areas. Mesh terrain is a new way to alter complex terrain without being locked to a height field. And it's more than just a mesh. It's partitioned for collaborative workflows, supports world partition streaming, and is designed to scale across platforms using the same source assets while tuning the runtime representation for each platform using Nanite when available.
That is pretty
With Mesh
impressive.
Terrain, you have full 3D manipulation capabilities. Overhangs, tunnels, floating islands, shapes you simply couldn't build before. And because it's mesh-based, you can also control tessellation at the triangle level. That means adding detail exactly where it matters, while saving memory and performance where it doesn't.
Okay.
As you'd expect, you can paint material layers, but also additional attributes, and it supports virtual texture with automatic UV generation.
That is very impressive.
Mesh Terrain uses non-destructive modifiers and procedural tooling, so iteration becomes dramatically easier. Everything can be layered, reordered, combined, and adjusted at any point in time. So you can literally move mountains. It also works natively with PCG and comes with an expanded modeling toolset. But best of all, in our ongoing Fortnite optimization efforts, Mesh Terrain has a smaller memory footprint and runs faster than Landscape. Higher quality, lighter costs, more creative and technical freedom. That's Mesh Terrain.
That's good.
Another
I like
big
the fact that also
focus of
like
5.8 is helping you go faster from idea to result. Performance capture has matured to scale from one operator at a desk to a full mocap stage with control over every recording device on set, including video. And we're taking that further. Earlier this year, Meshcapade joined Epic, bringing world-leading technology for markerless motion capture from video. We've already started integrating it into the ecosystem, and today we are releasing the MetaHuman animator.
Bro, Russian Badger is going to be so fucking happy with this.
Fab. You can drive a character's body, face, and hands from regular video. No suits, no markers, video in, animation out.
That's very impressive, actually.
For animators pursuing feature quality work, this is our most significant animation release yet. We've made high-end animation workflows more interactive, more intuitive, and more connected to the creative process.
Okay.
From sculpting directly on stylized rigs, to controls that live on the character itself, to a simplified timeline that keeps you focused on the performance. These are the same tools our animation team uses every day, and now they're available to everyone, and we're releasing the sample with 5.8. On the cinematic side, offline depth of field gets a major upgrade. We now render the blur the way a real camera makes it, by sampling the scene from multiple points across the lens. Okay. So you get physically accurate defocus.
It does have a little bit of muddy
and thin geometry.
texture, but wow, that actually looks good.
For productions working with ultra-high resolution media, the new tiled mip-map video format gives you compressed video that holds up at scale.
But you're gonna use the most out of it, yes.
And MIP level your
I know
viewport
for sure it's gonna
actually
use
needs,
it.
so you don't pay to process pixels no one
Which
is
is crazy
looking
because like the mocap suit costs
So that's
a
the flyby.
lot. But it
If
does
any of this
help.
caught your ear, you can find deep dive sessions in the Unreal Fest app.
If I don't like
And
it,
if
touch
5.8
and
is
high
about
quality
reducing
grass without
friction
leaving my
across the
house.
engine, there's one
Maybe
more
not
place
sniff,
we're starting to do
but
that.
like yes, you can probably
How
touch
people
them.
interact with the editor itself. But tell you more, here's Michael.
Michael? Michael Scott? Michael Scott, is that you? At least it's not Tim Sweeney because I would actually be pissed off if I see his face being here.
Thanks,
Yee-hee,
Simon.
Michael Jackson!
Now, at times,
Oh, Michael.
making games can be hard,
You're not
expensive,
Michael Jackson.
and slow,
Sorry.
where the gap between what you can imagine and what you can make is held back by technical overhead. I don't know about you, but spending hours in a node graph
Well,
trying
come on,
to
guys,
untangle
come on.
and understand what's
Well, I
going
was
on
just talking about
just to
attaching
change one
Grazo
thing
to one
is not my
Chinese
idea of
Wu
creativity.
game. What? No,
There
please,
has
God,
to be
no.
a better way to do this.
The stress has gotten to him.
So that's what we've been
Maybe
working
it's a
on.
fashion choice.
Tools
you know?
that enable you to build faster and iterate more.
Or aerodynamic reason.
Now, Unreal has been built on a simple idea.
Look,
Your
yes,
source,
he can
your
grow here.
pipeline, your workflow. Give developers complete control over the tools and get out of the way. That philosophy hasn't changed. We're just applying it to large language models. Now, in 5.8, we've implemented an MCP server that acts as a bridge between Unreal and any model that you want.
Okay.
For this presentation, we're going to be using Claude Code, but you can use Gemini, your own custom model, whatever you want. Enabling the Unreal MCP is as simple as turning on the plugin, doing a bit of config, and connecting to the model of your choice.
Oh.
And everything you're about to see today runs on that setup.
I swear most developers
Now,
just
these are still
start
early
losing their
days,
hair is
and models
someone
will still do some
along
really
their line of
unpredictable
work.
things.
Yeah, even the
However,
you know
with this
Salon
approach,
from
We maintain the ability to go in
CEO
and
of
edit
Kuri Games also
as
started
you
to
would
lose hair as well.
any Unreal scene. OK, let's see this in action. On the left, we have Unreal Engine. On the right is a terminal running Claude Code. You can see every message going back and forth. Claude Code is talking to Unreal through the MCP server, reading the scene, and taking actions directly inside the engine. So let's start with something small, a modern living room. We start by giving the model some context, what we want to build, and whereabouts in the level. And to make sure everyone can follow along, we're showing a summarized version of each prompt as we go. But if you want the full details, you can still see that in the terminal window. We're going to speed things up from here for presentation purposes, but everything you're seeing is real work happening inside the engine. So we can ask for the basics, a sofa, a rug,
I feel
and a
like I
coffee
should skip
table.
all this because there's just
Then
nothing-
fill it
something
in
for me
with
to
chairs, a
benefit
lamp,
of.
and a side table. Semantic search, which is part of the 5.8 release, pulls assets from your library that fit that description. And because this is Unreal, we can also manually add a chair, describe it as a reading nook, and the model will furnish the room accordingly.
Okay.
Every step here is a creative decision that you're making. Models are good at broad iterations. You're good at knowing exactly what you want. Those same principles work whether you're furnishing a room or whether you want to scale up, and build an entire city. So let's take that same approach and build a city. You start by drawing the boundary. From there, you can decide where the districts go and what characteristics each one has. Highways cut through on your direction. And from those, the road network starts to fill in. Buildings come up. The model here is using semantic search to find the right assets from your library and place them in the level. Ask for a forest around the edge, and it can fill that in.
Oh, shit.
At every step, you're making the calls. What do you end up with? It's not a rendered image. It's real geometry, real procedural content generation graphs that you can open, edit, and modify.
That is so fast, actually.
And this works for a whole team, too. Other developers can work on their own sessions, building assets and dropping them straight into the city. The road network adjusts, the blocks update, and the city absorbs it. Different people, different sessions, and it all works together. So how does all of this actually work? With the MCP server as the bridge between Unreal and your model, it gives your model the ability to read your scene, understand your assets, and make changes directly in the engine.
Okay.
And because it's open, you're not locked into any particular model or workflow. Now, while large language models are great at language and reasoning, they don't naturally think spatially. Unreal does. To help connect the two, we're giving you over 80 foundational procedural content generation building blocks, a library of examples, and skills that encode specific Unreal workflows. Now, this is experimental.
Yeah, I don't really get it.
And it's going to keep getting better. This is where you come in. Tell us what's working. Tell us what's not. That's how we're going to make this better.
Sorry.
Now that the city is built, we want to light it. Getting lighting right on Unreal is a skill that means touching dozens of parameters that all need to work together. Light balance, cloud materials, sky atmosphere,
yeah, I guess. If he believes,
that's a lot to know.
He believes, I
But
guess.
by creating a dedicated lighting skill, you just describe what you want, and the model orchestrates that all for you. Ask for a purple dusk. And there it is. Under the hood, it's adjusting all those settings in concert. Then we can ask for overcast skies. And this is a good example of where the model gets things wrong. It misread the sky and tweaked the cloud material the wrong way. But you can see exactly what happened, correct it in the next prompt, and you're right back to where you want to be. Because models also have real-world knowledge, you can just say, Bogota at 9:30 in the morning. And it will go and figure out the sun position, direction, temperature, and atmosphere that actually matches that. And if you want to match something specific, you can take an image. So here we used one of Vancouver, and ask it to replicate that look.
What?
It uses screenshots to assess and iterate until it gets there.
If you're fancy,
and everything
then
is still editable.
You can do fancy stuff.
Grab a road
if
and
you're
move
not
it,
fancy, then be fancy.
the city adjusts around it. Ask it to make a building taller or more prominent in the scene, and it does that.
What the fuck are you talking? Are you
But
on
then you
about?
can go in and modify any individual asset, making it exactly the way that you want it. This isn't a generate image that you're stuck with. It's a real scene in Unreal, and you control every part of it.
What the fuck is he?
Now, let's look at one intersection. We wanted to add a hazard zone, flashing lamps, steam, and a sense of danger as the player gets close. That normally means days of back and forth across multiple disciplines. So here's what we did instead. The warning lamp already has a material. But let's say you want to add something to it. You ask the model to read the existing graph, build the new logic, and insert it right where it needs to go. You can then jump into the material instance editor and tweak the final values by hand. Then you take a Niagara template and extend it, adding a single parameter that drives multiple emitters at once, giving you control over the whole effect in one place.
I am sleepy.
You build out the HUD through prompting in UMG, status display, danger meter, warning states. Then blueprint logic ties it all together. A proximity trigger connected to the material, the Niagara system, and the HUD. Walk in, and everything fires at once.
Multiple discipline?
All
I
right,
can hardly
so let's run
hold
it.
one.
Lamps are off, it's quiet. She walks toward the site, the lamps come on, the steam starts rising. She steps inside, lamps are flashing, steam's pouring in. and the site is erupting. What we've shown here today would take months to build by hand. But with the MCP server and Unreal, our artists were able to make all of this in days. When you lower the technical friction, you can iterate more and make better games. That's what we've built. This is really just a starting point.
Quotation.
Bring your own primitives, your own examples, your own skills built around your pipelines.
Fastest doesn't mean it's the greatest. I think like it depends on like how you treat it with the conveniences. Like every conveniences that it comes has to have come with a flaw. Sometimes, oh, doing things too fast and you can actually build this whole entire city. Sometimes there could be a possibility that like maybe the infrastructure is not right. Sometimes people trying to take in the little details of the game is not right. Sometimes maybe there is a missing wall that is just being interlinked or interlined some way or another with like another building that doesn't actually really do well. That's why like making a like it depends on how big of a scale of like a game that you want to make, but like it's really hard for me to say, and I can't deny the fact that I'm actually very impressed. I am very much impressed with this engine. Like I am liking the fact that there is a lot of way of like conveniences for developers to actually make good games, or at least make a game at the very least. But I think like what I really am looking forward to most for 5.8 is the performance. Like with all this thing going around, it's cool. But like if it's running like shit, what's the point?
The more your team puts in over time, the more useful it gets for everyone on the project.
Okay. That means like there has to be more time for them to optimize the game, right?
We're shipping the MCP server, the PCG primitive plugin, and the skills we've developed as part of 5.8 today. It's open, and it's yours to extend. Go download it, point your model at it, and see what you can do. If you want to go deeper, we've got 2 chances to catch our Tech Talk here at Fest. Come find us. Now I'm going to hand it over to Pat to talk about how some of what I've shown you impacts linear content creation in the engine.
Oh! Excuse me.
Thanks, Michael.
Pat
Hi, everyone.
Tubak.
My name is Pat Tubak. I've got a background in film and television.
Hello.
For media and entertainment, the MCP plugin that Michael just showed you opens up a wide range of new connections to LLMs, but also to image and video models like Nano Banana, GPT Image, Grok Imagine, Luma, Seedance, and many more. Michael was telling you about tools in the present, and I'm going to cover tools for creating linear content that are releasing early next year that give you control over these models. The standard approach to using an image model is to start by crafting a text prompt. In this case, I wrote a novel describing a fictional scene in Epic Motors, a 1950s gas station. But in professional situations where you have to hit story points, match exact continuity, and deliver what your creative director wants, you would typically communicate visually through sketches and previews. Unreal is great for that. So, to get started in Unreal, I scouted the derelict corridor scene from Quixel that's available on Fab, which I quickly customized to look like the gas station layout I needed.
Okay.
I worked in detail lighting mode, since I was just using this for blocking to this stage. I dropped in some of the appropriate assets from that map: shelving, a propane tank, a cabinet, and also made proxy shapes for the assets that I didn't have: a long counter, more shelving, a cash register, and an ice chest. Then I backed up and framed my camera view and animated a boom down and a push in that I'd later use for my shot. But before I tackled the full video creation, I had to create a single style frame, the visual reference of my scene. To do that, I used the model to combine a depth pass plus the prompt novel I'd written before. The depth conditions the models to understand the layout and the framing. Here's how that works using our new tools in Unreal. I asked Claude Code, connected by our MCP plugin, to use Unreal's movie render graph to create a 4K image, plus all the rest. Asking for an Unreal render to create the image was a signal to Claude Code that I wanted to give my model my depth pass, but use the creative look described in my prompt. I then fired off that request. And while it was being generated,
I'm thinking I should just move on. Like all these things are actually great and all, but like they're not something that I should really care. I think I see like the game part. Sorry.
We're on this journey together, and we're aware that for these models to be truly useful, we need to focus on not just lowering technical complexity,
Okay, maybe I'll take it back. Let's just watch it. Sorry.
models to Unreal Render to create the image was a signal to Claude Code that I wanted to give my model my depth pass,
Let's just keep watching.
but use the creative
Sorry,
look described
because
in
I saw like the seedens, like the AI, and I'm like, that's kind of interesting, but at the same time, the AI bubble is not gonna pop. So like, I need to see
my
this.
prompt. I then fired off that request. And
Okay.
while it was being generated, I inspected the graph that it made for the task.
Okay.
Image models are hungry for helpful data and conditioning,
Oh.
and so I prepared a process that pulls valuable visual data from the Unreal scene and passes it to the image model. In this case, Google's Nano Banana Pro. Now, let's take a look at this image more closely. You can see that it did a great job matching the visual detail I asked for, but most importantly, it didn't place things randomly. It matched the composition of my Unreal viewport exactly. From there, I could start to iterate.
Okay.
For example, I wanted another tire on the floor, but I didn't have that particular asset because it was an image model creation. Using the new image segmentation tools in the editor to mask the tire, I selected both the mask and the image, and with a predefined workflow, asked Claude Code to extract it, repair it, and mesh it using Trippo 3.1. And then I double-checked that graph,
With
and I
all this
supervised.
AI help and easier rendering, I'm hoping the game price will drop a bit. Oh dear, that is also one thing I am actually hoping, but at the same time, I feel like the game prices are going to be skyrocketed. I'm not joking. I really, really do think the games are going to be like $100. Why? It's because there is so many fucking people wanted to go into this space and they would actually use this tool. They want to get themselves involved into this. So like there is a lot of way of like saying that like their work they work very tirelessly, but no, I would say there is capitalism that is like playing a huge role here 80% of the time here. It's gonna get saturated. Yes, that's also one thing that I really do feel like it's gonna happen as well. Because like with like I think like the funny thing about the like having conveniences of like having developers to use to make their own games easier, it does allow a lot more people to be more independent to make their own works successfully. Because like you don't need a huge amount of like work or skills to actually put into making your own visionary game, but at the same time, it does actually make sense where like there we are going to get more flops over the good ones, you know. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, but also at the same time, I am gonna say that like, will the AI bubble even pop at that point? Because like at this point, they're telling you they're integrating the AI system into the Unreal Engine. So like technically speaking, if you want to make a game, you can just AI prompt it with your own words, and then like the whole entire scenery or like the show itself is already there. Which at one point, I think like it's kind of really hard for me to say that it's a good thing or a bad thing because at one point the 3D modeling is going to get affected in that industry, and I think like that's gonna be the sad part.
The work. Now, of course, this is not a real-time process, so after several minutes, I got my textured tire mesh. I saved
Oh,
it to the content browser.
that is insane! So you just take a fucking picture and then like you ask the AI to actually take the picture and prompt it and model it into 3D modeling. So that the 3D model, the 3D, the people who sculpt the 3D modeling are getting fucked in this industry. They're like it's either gonna be a good thing or a bad thing, but at the same time it's pretty kind of insane that you can do that. That is cool, but at the same time, scary.
Where I then pulled in the tire and positioned it in 3D space. And finally, I
What
asked
the
Claude Code to add the
fuck?
tire to the image. Let's take a look at that result. So if we compare my UE passes with the tire in it, you can see that it put the new tire where I asked it to, and it made it look like a variation of the generated tire, not an exact duplicate. All right, now let's add something totally new to the scene by going back to the viewport for another round in 3D. I went browsing on Fab and found one of our junkyard car parts for Megascans. I picked the specific fender piece that I wanted that had a 1950s look modeled into it to leave less to the image model's imagination. I asked Claude Code to add it to my image and make it look like it had been newly repainted. And after another image processing step in Nano Banana, that was done. Okay, now that I produced my style frame, I was ready to go back to our new Unreal tools to generate the video of our scene. And here's my shot camera move again. If you recall, this is the move that I created at the beginning.
Yes.
Over on the right, I ran a sequence render node that represents the depth over the entire range. I'm going to use the same depth restyling process with the video that I did on the still image. I supply the style frame I just generated to the video model as a first frame reference, and you can see that I added a cat, just hoping for a bit of life. And then I set my video generation node to use Seedance 2.0, set the resolution, added audio, and then I was off. Once that process had run for several minutes, I had a video that looked like this. So clearly,
Oh, that's so AI generated. Oh God, that is so AI generated.
this is showing you that I can control the camera, but nobody controls a cat.
But that is so AI generated. It doesn't even look good. But I can see the potential of the idea. Control the cat. He can't even control the cat. Like he has to control the whole entire thing, but for some reason the cat actually moved by its own. Also, that is actually really AI generated shit.
All right, let's leave the garage and the cat and move on to an apartment. This is a different workflow that we've been building in parallel for more rapid concepting with diffusion and your viewports side by side. What you're seeing here in this video is the UE viewport on the left that was streaming to a local Flux Klein image model on the right. The local model result isn't temporally coherent. It was stamping a new image on every frame and only running a few frames a second, which is why it seems slower over there on the right.
Okay.
But let me show you how intuitive it is to use. I prompted for sunset lighting at first, and then decided to see what it would look like if there had just been a fire in this apartment.
What the shit?
And then I tried something more extreme, like being underwater at the bottom of a murky pond. The real benefit you get here is being able to go back to the UE viewport, interact with the assets, and see them repositioned through this new diffusion lens.
So AI generated. It is so AI generated. I can't even deny it.
Not only that, but you can try more illustrated looks like a charcoal drawing
And it's not a bad
or
thing
even
because I
a
can
watercolor
see
paint.
it's really good.
As models get more capable and hardware improves, it's not hard to project this
okay.
workflow forward to a time when diffusion's real-time and temporally consistent. Okay, let's look at some other examples of Unreal Engine scenes restyled by artists in the engine using a variety of sources, some of which are premium environment packs from our friends at Kitbash 3D, and some of which are our own internal assets, including the city sample. Starting from quality source assets leaves less room for interpretation by the models.
Bro, it looks.
think
Am I crazy? Like the before one looks so much more game game style ish, and it's not even bad.
New UE
But,
tools
like,
are a force multiplier.
This looks very AI. I can't deny that.
That will give artists more opportunities for creative iteration on their work alongside the real-time animation,
The new one looks like an AI slob. It does. The new one looks very AI slob, and I do not know if I'm crazy. What the hell is this?
modeling, texturing, and virtual production tools that you've come to count on in
Am
Unreal
I
Engine.
crazy? I prefer the old one.
Texturing and virtual production tools that you've come to count on
This one, okay, this one looks good.
in
then,
Unreal
like,
Engine.
And then you look at this like, am I crazy? Because I prefer the old one.
So this is where
Like, this looks very weird. Like, you can see that, like, some changes of the frame of the fucking robot just sitting there.
we're headed.
Like, you can
The
see
MCP
it's,
server
like,
that's enabling all
mortifying
this is
itself.
experimental, and what you're seeing here for image and video creation will be available early next year. We're on this journey together, and we're aware that for these models to be truly useful, we need to focus on not just lowering technical complexity, but also giving you full creative control over what you're making.
Oh, it's so AI slopes. I'm so sorry. I think this should mostly be used as a placeholder. I agree. I really do think that like with this kind of stuff, I think like you cannot put that as like the pinnacle of things. You cannot just use that and like put it done, final and final verdict. You can't. I really do think you need to actually put it as a placeholder. There's no fucking way you can put that as a like like the final verdict for the whole entire thing. You It's doesn't look good. It doesn't look very polished. Like, don't get me wrong, it's actually a really neat idea how they're actually doing it, and I like the idea of them, like, making it more convenient for like the artists, or like at least for people who doesn't have the money to at least, or to invite other artists. That's cool and all, but the thing is that I think at the very least you should learn how to do 3D modeling, and at least learn the basics of like trying to apply them of like every single detail. You can use this as a placeholder, and still do think it actually does save up your time to actually get what you want with the vision that you want. Okay, for measuring and stuff, that's cool. Actually, I agree. This is a good idea, but do not use it as a final verdict. I do think it's not great.
Thank you.
I'm so good. Seriously.
Thanks, Pat. That was awesome.
Epic Game Store. Okay,
All
now
right,
we're in
so
the
now
gaming
you
situation.
see more, even great features, workflow improvements that are all going to help you make awesome games and content. So let's talk about
Because I might use this
distribution.
actually. For what?
2025 was a year of growth for the Epic Game Store, and we're off to a great start in 2026. In our year in review, we reported that December monthly active users reached 78 million, an all-time record for the Epic Game Store. And players spent 1.16
Is that a lie? I don't know if I don't think that's a. I don't know if that's a lie or not.
billion in the store across third-party and first-party titles.
Okay.
That's up 6% year over year. If you just look at
Do
third-party,
you really need to show off this? I really, really do think you want to show this off so that you can actually like just tell you that Steam, we are your rival. Come on, Tim Sweeney, get off get off his dick or something, bro. What the hell?
titles, player spending hit $400 million. That's up 57% year over year. And we now have over 6,000 games in the catalog from over 3,000 partners. We offer multiple ways for you to help your business grow. In June of 2025, we announced that developers would keep 100% of the first $1 million of net revenue per product per year, with an industry-leading 88/12 rev share kicking in after that million.
Okay.
We've got Epic First Run, which gives developers the opportunity to keep 100% of net revenue for the first 6 months before launching on other stores. And we also have Launch Everywhere with Epic, which gives UE developers a reduced engine royalty rate of 3.5%, down from 5%, when they sim ship their title on the Epic Game Store.
I still go for Steam. I'm sorry. I know like you did this, but like with all this improvement, blah blah blah. There is a reason why I don't want to hear this, because like it's a way of saying that like they're trying to trying to actually tell you that like, hey, we're also like a rival to Steam. I don't respect the head of Epic Games for going in and calling out Gabe for like saying that he's actually just wanting money, when Gabe could have actually made Half-Life 3, he could have made Team Fortress 3, he could have made all the sequel games that he ever wanted, because he makes money from all those fucking revenues from himself. But the only reason why he makes money and he doesn't actually approach all these fucking slop sequels just so that he can actually get fans to pay him more money is because he is definitely a person who understands business with gamers. And it felt like we gamers know that we have someone to back us up. Tim Sweeney is not that guy. He comes in literally shit talking about Gabe for having a yacht. And he says like he wants more yacht or something. Like, buddy, there's a reason why people don't go to Epic Games. Even despite having free games, people still don't go to Epic Games. And I don't like Epic Games for a couple of reasons as well. Is that I hate the fact that there is exclusivity from Epic Games so that they can actually like brought themselves out into the light, which I totally understand. Because like Alan Wake 2 is not available on Steam, and you only have to be able to actually get them from Epic Games. Despite having Alan Wake 2 being such a good game, you can't experience that game if you don't buy it from Epic Games. And I don't like that idea. And even then, like, they only started making money like last year. Fuck. That's sad, dude.
Finally, we continue to push on Epic Rewards, granting 5% back to players on all third-party content purchases that are processed by Epic. Now, last year we had a 20% rewards boost through the back half of the year, and we're seeing players continue to spend at heightened levels using the rewards that they accumulated and earned during the promotional period. In fact, spending through the first 4 months of the year on third-party games is up over 40% year over year. So beyond these great incentive programs, we're really working to connect the Epic Games Store more closely with the Fortnite ecosystem. And that'll give developers access to an even larger player base. Take our collab with HoYoverse as an example. When players purchased eligible items in Honkai Star Rail on the Epic Games Store, they were granted a Stellaron Hunter Blade outfit that could be used across the entire Fortnite ecosystem, in Battle Royale or in thousands of UEFN games. So some players discovered Honkai Star Rail for the first time in Fortnite. Then they went on to spend on the game in the Epic Games Store, and their spend unlocked a new outfit that they brought back into Fortnite. It's a virtuous circle for both developers and players. We've got over 30 million, sorry, not 30 million, that would be a lot, 30 similar collabs planned for 2026, with more coming in 2027.
Okay.
So we're delivering great incentives for both developers and for players, but we need to make the store experience better. And over the last several months, the team's been hard at work rebuilding the launcher. Our goal here is to dramatically improve performance with reduced cold start times and much faster browsing.
Okay.
We've also been re-architecting the back end of the store, which is going to allow us to ship new player-facing features faster and more frequently. We'll be improving search and discovery, adding a lot of long-awaited community features, and doubling down on delivering an overall better player experience. We are committed to growing the Epic Games Store, and we're not relenting in our mission to give developers access to a high-value global player base with the most favorable terms in the industry.
I
can learn more about
admire that. I really do. I really do admire Epic Games for doing this. I really do. I just don't like the CEO try to attack Cape. There's no reason for him to do that.
Our plans for the Epic Games Store in this session tomorrow. And now that we've covered a bit of what's happening in our ecosystem, let's hear from some of the teams putting it all to work. First, 20 years after Emergence Day, the Coalition is finally telling the story they've always wanted to tell. Darker, more alive, and running at 60 frames per second with hundreds of shadow casting lights. Then, Riot Games is doing something most studios would never attempt, rebuilding a live PC and mobile game with 300 million players on a new engine, all while keeping the live service running. And finally, the small team at Neon Giant set out to build the densest, most lived-in city they could have ever imagined, a city where every frame tells a story, and every choice you make becomes a part of that story.
It sounds like From Software.
3 games, 3 very different worlds.
I know, that's
engine.
not a good sign,
Up
but
first,
okay.
please welcome Kate Rayner from the Coalition.
Okay, so Gears of War. Excuse me. It's the girl, it's the woman from Gears of War, I'm pretty sure.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kate Rayner.
Hello.
It's great to be able to join you today. Gears of War will celebrate its 20th anniversary this year, and Unreal Engine has been the foundation of every game since the series first debuted in 2006. For Gears of War E-Day, we made the decision to invest in...
I can't help it but notice, but is her mouth very wet or something? Like, I don't know. Sorry. I'm literally hearing it. Am I tripping? Ugh.
Unreal Engine 5 and start with a blank hard drive and rebuild everything from scratch to achieve the believability of a world in chaos.
Sorry, I have a little bit
Emergence
weird.
Day is the
I think I have ADHD, and like it's kind of triggering it right now. Sorry.
darkest day in our universe, the day the monstrous locust horde emerged from the ground to lay waste to humanity. And to truly feel the emotional impact of that loss, we needed to return to a dark and gritty visual style. Light and shadow do more than just set a tone, and with Unreal Engine 5, we've pushed our signature Gears style to the next level. So, let's show you.
Do you hear you hear it, right? You hear it as well as I do, right? Like it's like triggering me right now. I like it. Like I'm so sorry. I don't want to actually attack someone. And I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it in a very harmless or harmful way or anything. I just think like it's like maybe I'm fucking with myself. I don't know. She's kind of sounds like AI to me. Oh, come on. But I would say I do have problems with this game. There's one or two things that I don't like about this game. And I will tell you guys in a minute. I don't know, man. She's kind of sounds like me talking. It's the monotone way she speaks. Which is not bad. I think I like the way she
A
speaks.
taste of what we've built.
Capture 60 FPS running on Xbox Series X. Wow, really?
Welcome to the Pay and Save Superstore in downtown Kelowna. In previous games, a space like this was limited to 3 shadow casters in view. With Megalights, we now have hundreds of light sources, all casting shadows at 60 frames per second on Xbox Series X.
Is it gonna work well on PC though? Damn.
This TV display wall utilizes animated area lights with light functions that are driven by the video itself fully on the GPU.
Gears of War looks so
They
good.
each cast eerie and unsettling dynamic shadows with soft penumbra across the scene.
Marcus is so
The Pay and
fucking
Save is a
big,
great
dude.
example of how we've created environments with geometry collection destructible assets like this tiled pillar. These dynamic objects cast and receive light correctly, so destruction stays visually grounded exactly the way you'd expect in the real world.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Like they're saying all this thing, right? All this impressive looking shit going around with like the how amazing the engine is and how interactive the engine is with whenever you make like a 3D environment, right? The fact that we already have that shit exists on a different engine and it's owned from a company that we all are waiting for it to release this September or October game, which is a very massive game by the way. It's from Rockstar Games. Don't they have this shit already? Like I know for sure in Red Dead Redemption 2 is like the pinnacle of people are going to use that as like a one-to-one comparison of like how good or details our people are actually putting their time into. Like they will use this to actually compare it to Red Dead Redemption 2. And you know what's funny is the fact that Red Dead Redemption 2 already has all of this. I'm not even impressed. Like, okay, sure, that's cool, but why should I be fucking impressed by these little things that I just want to play the game off? Sure, the engine is incredible, but there's nothing for you to actually say like it's like mind-blowing shit when Rockstar did it already. Crimson Desert already did it already. Hello, Dinizudin, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. And am I crazy? Am I crazy for saying that? I think I am a bit crazy. Because I still think this is
check
actually
out
kind
the
of pretty
freezer
crazy
section.
good looking.
All these freezers have multiple area lights inside them to simulate that realistic lighting effect of the frozen food section of your local grocery store.
Ah, yes. I would love to play like a frozen food supermarket simulator here when I'm playing Gears of War. I would love that. I need to see how good the freezer is good looking. If it's not accurate enough, I am going to refund my money. Yes! Yes! And if don't I have my favorite chicken balls in this one of these fucking freezers, I'm going to be crushed the fuck out. Yes. I don't know. It's weird.
During combat, bullets create a dynamic shatter point in the glass. When it shatters, all the pieces collide with the environment using hardware ray trace collision.
Buddy! Counter-Strike 2 already did this! Require 5090 and XD3 to run it. And that's kind of funny because like Counter-Strike 2 runs very well on the low end this PC if they wanted to. They can.
With physically accurate, translucent reflections. It's amazing.
It's still it is amazing. It is, but it's not something wow to people right now, okay?
Amazing to see how many light sources there are in here. There are hundreds of them, from the small lights on Marcus's armor to the large spotlights on the ceiling.
I don't like the fact that
there is no way we'd ever be able to achieve this effect or have this many.
To be honest, if they're gonna promote this engine, it's probably a bit better to make a movie, and people would probably still wouldn't give a damn. I would agree on that actually. The thing is that like Unreal Engine 5.8 is not something that should actually be considered as like a wow factor, because like a lot of the engines, like especially from different developers, have already taught this so far, and it's kind of weird the fact that we're actually in this kind of topic. But I think like what's interesting about 5.8 is the fact that like what really at least did turn me on at the very least would be like the performance. The performance for Unreal Engine 5 has been nothing just abhorrently horrendous this whole entire time, okay? And the fact that I'm acknowledging that there is problem with the performance and they're actually trying to fix it is actually admirable. I think that's like the only best thing about this whole entire thing. And I don't want to shit talk about Gears of War, but like this whole entire showcase, it's not bad. It's like I don't think like I should be wowed by this. Because like this game is gonna cost 300 ringgit, which is by the way $70. Marcus is shake. I'm dumb. Yeah, what? Why you're dumb? Yeah, you do look more like dumb. Yeah, actually.
Ray traced area lights.
Yeah, you would be
on
dumb.
current generation hardware.
I like Marcus
without mega lights.
Except I don't have the very scruffy, deep voice, the manly voice. Wait, can you? Oh wow, I'm sorry, I just noticed this now, but I love the details of the gun. Actually, they look so good.
People of the Gears franchise E-holes are back in Gears of War E-Day. So let's open some up.
What?
Without all the monsters in the way, you can see all the volumetrics and smoke lit perfectly.
Okay.
One of the things we're super excited about that was unthinkable in the past is having shadows on every single one of our muzzle flashes.
And it's not something for me to actually even give a shit
This
about.
is a really great improvement that adds to the dynamic combat of Gears with a more believable firing experience.
I do like the fact they actually put the reload mechanism at the bottom here. In Gears of War 1 Reloaded, there is a problem where like you will have to time it the reload by looking at the gun on the top right, and that is kind of annoying sometimes.
That puts you right in the middle of the action like never before.
I love the sound design though. The sound design is really punchy. Yeah, I feel like the event itself focuses on graphics, so she's more or less has to talk about that. And it's not very. I feel like it's not very fair. I really do think we are at a pinnacle moment where like graphics has already reached its own peak very very long time ago, and then, like the fact that we're still talking about the graphics is because they know it's the only way to get all these people who are actually don't have knowledge about what's the value of the game, so that they can actually just jiggle the keys for them and say like, look at this shiny stuff, but you want this? Pay $70 and we'll talk, no worries. And like it's the only way they can actually do that, and it works. It fucking works. And you think it doesn't work? Look at FIFA. Those people still buy games for FIFA every fucking year.
Our game isn't limited to just a single space. We can explore the entire city of Kelowna with tens of thousands of shadow casting lights.
Ah, jeez.
Delivering E-Day with this level of visual fidelity has not been easy. But we can iterate so much faster with hardware ray trace Lumen compared to the baked lighting we used in the past.
I still don't like ray trace.
With Megalights, our lighters are no longer constrained by the number of real-time shadowcasters, giving them the freedom to light our game with the same complexity as the real world. And we have 100 times the geometric detail in our assets due to Nanite's micro-polygon rendering.
I'm disappointed at my fellow Malays who
All
takes
of
the
these
bait for
systems work
FIFA.
together to-
Exactly, and this is the reason why they make graphics as like the main topic is because it's so easy to play the keys in front of them and like jiggle 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 and then get the bait, and it's so easy. FIFA, what's that? Food is food ashes. I don't know. I'm trying to be smart here.
Create a highly scalable engine that allows us to consistently deliver a visual showcase across Xbox and
I don't
PC.
like soccer, so no, you know what I'm talking about. It's not the soccer, you know what I'm talking about. There are slop games that people are still buying. Call of Duty is one of them. FIFA is one of them. Sorry for calling this one out. UFC is also one of them. What other games? There is, and those three games, by the way, there are gettingly increase in prices. Overwatch 2 skins, it's so easy to go into those kind of bait because it's so easy to actually making good characters. Maybe not Overwatch 2, but like I would say Blizzard in general, they really are actually trying to make the game to be like very, very sloppy, but also easy to make people to get people pull out their fucking wallet and just give them money. EA is shit. Yes, yes, EA is still shit. Even despite Battlefield 6 is still a really good game, EA still has the like trying to put in their implementation of like trying to capitalize it as much as possible, which like again, you don't need to do that. They're also the reason why we don't have Dead Space 2 and 3 remake, by the way, just to let you know. Also, don't forget about like the Star Wars Jedi Survivor, that second game, the second game in the sequel, in the franchise. That game was poorly optimized because they didn't reach a certain level of sale, and then like decided to actually move on from it because they don't think it's actually any even matter. Also, Wild Hearts is one of them as well, but I don't need to. I'm gonna ramble it for a very long time. I have way too much ball knowledge for this. Don't forget the microtransaction for the popular teams. Yes, is that yes? They're also putting a lot of money trying to put a gamble so they can actually get some few characters like with good stats. Like again, they are not very good. They're not very good. Have always been those games that are trying to suck you in so that you can actually like pull up a money and just be slave with it. But Bethesda is shit is also one of them as well. Yes, but that Bethesda at the very least, I would at least acknowledge the fact that like they're still trying to stick to the roots of them. But the reason why Bethesda is still relevant to this day is because of Skyrim and Fallout. And but like I would give at least some prompt to Doom games because Doom games like one game to another are trying to at least make different and try to actually make their own game. Doom the Dark Ages is definitely a game that I do want to try at least in the future. This graphics yada yada seems like nothing is new. Exactly, there's nothing new. Like I told you this. This whole entire technology that said like, wow, you can shoot like the walls and you see like there's so much different interaction. You see the holes in the wall. You can see like we're breaking the tiles from the wall. Don't you think that's amazing? Meanwhile, Red Dead Redemption 2, a game that already has been coming out for more than 10 years, you have the amount of details that never even actually been shown off to the public. Somehow is more better than this. This is just not a wow factor. Really. There's nothing for me to be wowed. And I'm not hating on it. I just feel like this whole entire event was unnecessary. FIFA, frustratingly idiotic, funnily ass. Well, maybe not. Well, yeah, it is. I want to say like it's Ubisoft, but yeah, that's very much Ubisoft. You have issues, but at least Ubisoft is actually like weirdly trying to turning the tides. But I need to see more games. Nvidia is cheat. Give us more VRAM. Stop building AI. It's like all the graphics they talk about is already in the most of the games nowadays. Exactly, and that's so weird. It's so fucking weird. Like I still prefer From Software Engine over this personally. I honestly would say that because it has better performance, but at least I acknowledge they are talking about the performance here. But the graphics so far, I not think it's something wow for me. But anyway, so let's move on. I'm gonna yap all for a very very long time because there's no reason for me to yap about this because like we were still watching the whole entire live stream. Also, can you timestamp this because I might actually put this like whole like of me ranting about it just for myself. Yeah, FromSoft just optimized pretty well. They
As
did very
developers,
well.
many of us know there is a difference between a compelling demo and delivering a fully realized vision at 60 frames per second. The Coalition is pushing Unreal Engine 5 and the hardware it runs on to their limits to reimagine the Gears world at an unprecedented level of detail. We can't wait for you to see for yourselves when E-Day launches on October 6th. Thank you.
I still want to get. I want to play this. This looks so
We're
good.
all in! Hold tight while I get us the hell out of here!
Do I have a problem something, but I don't like this character. Some part of me don't like this character. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know why. I have this fishy tingling senses of like trying to say like I might actually hate her. But I need to play the game first. Woke? No, maybe not woke. I would say like I want to say woke. I would say like there is a part of me where like she kind of pisses me off. But I maybe it's woke, yeah, because like, I think like I've been so tired of like seeing all these designs and like signs of like wokeness to the point where like whenever I see like big muscular mommy or like big muscular girl that is not even mommy size, I just feel like there's something off with that. There's something off with it.
Hold tight while I get us the hell out of here!
Oh,
We're not out of it yet. Incoming! You son of a bitch! I lost visual! Anyone see it?
Negative! I've lost it!
shit.
That thing! Oh, my bird!
I'm not surprised there. Vibe is not vibing. Yeah, there is something about it just not very well done.
Hi, I'm Gina, head of tech at Riot.
And it's also funny they also pull up a character with like like one new character with a cap on and he's like very very shy and he's like kind of apologizing for everything. There's something like I know I'm actually just tripping balls or something, but like there's something about it just like ding 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 ding. I don't know. I'm sorry. I have to wait for the game to come out first. It's like a reverse Spidey sense. Shake my sense and tickling from seeing that. Yeah, exactly. Like this whole entire trailer of like Gears of War has me tingling so well. I love this. But whenever I see those two new characters, they're not tingling for some reason. Why do all of them sound like they have lisp? I don't know. That is a good question.
Teamfight Tactics, or TFT as we like to call it. TFT is an auto battler that we originally built as a game mode on the same engine as League of Legends.
I hated the fact that you had to mention.
We built it fast.
I mentioned
about
it.
18 weeks from idea to launch.
Don't care.
And then it grew way beyond what we expected.
Okay.
TFT has become a leading strategy game with more than 300 million players across the ecosystem, which is kind of wild to say out loud. We've just announced that TFT is moving to Unreal Engine with our next set, Enchanted Wilds.
Oh, thank God. I don't really need to give a shit about this game. Thank God. All right. Do I have Lisp? No, I don't think so. I've heard how you speak.
Rebuilding a live
What
game on a
purpose?
new
I think it's easier for them to actually like edit it out or something, Would it make? I don't know, but I know for sure the game is gonna be much more bigger. When I mean bigger in size.
engine while it's still running is not something most games choose to do. It's years of work across engineering, art, design, and production, and that gets even harder when your game is still shipping new sets, events, everything to players on a regular cadence.
Okay, but do I give a shit? No. So like, tell me what's the benefit for you to do this? Then only I can care.
But that's what we decided to do. I joined Riot to work on TFT, and about 6 weeks in, we made the call to move the game to Unreal.
Yeah, it's TFT of all things. I thought like they were gonna actually make a new game or something.
And pretty quickly, we realized this wasn't just about moving engines. It was about what became possible. Building on shared technology, reusing more of what we create, spending less time rebuilding foundations, and more time building TFT. One example is the gameplay ability system. It gives us a more structured and flexible way to build gameplay as the game grows. And for a game like TFT, where every set brings new mechanics, content, and ways to play, that kind of common foundation matters a lot. It gives us shared building blocks, abilities, attributes, and effects that can be reused across very different parts of the game. And that lets us move faster over time. With Unreal, we had to rethink how the game was built. Architecture, networking, gameplay, even the way the game data is structured had to change.
Exactly. I don't know why you have to make this as big as a thing as than it should be. But sure.
And early versions of the game in Unreal just didn't feel right. Performance was rough. We had builds running at around 12 frames per second in an 8-player game, which
How can you make the game work like have very shitty performance? How? Like how? How is it like in the strategy game? Like how? I am sorry. There's not a lot of details on your characters or like everything else. There's only one map. It's not even open world. Like, how? Maybe because I don't play TFT, maybe I don't know what it actually is on stake, or like there could be more chaos on one platform. But like, I still don't see the reason for you to do so. But sure.
I'm sure all of you can imagine was not exactly the target. So the first goal for us wasn't innovation. It was parity. We had to get TFT back, and that meant reworking a lot of systems inside Unreal.
I still do think that 300 million players who plays the TFT is kind of bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. I still think it's bullshit. Top-down view game probably use the most less resources. In some way, yeah, I think that's kind of really makes sense. Especially you're not even playing in an open world. It's like only in one area.
Some gave us a strong starting point. Others required significant customization, and some we rebuilt from scratch. For example, networking. As we built more of the game and added more content, we started to hit limits. With a huge number of gameplay actors in a match, the default replication approach wasn't enough to meet our server and bandwidth performance targets.
Okay.
So, with Epic's help, we evolved our approach, adopting Iris networking with push-based replication and fast arrays to get the performance we needed.
Okay. Bandwidth, something like that with the server. Okay, at least that makes sense, I guess. Girl, what's the point of customizing when I'm look at the top of its hit? Well, to be fair, League of Legends exists, so like some people actually still play that kind of game and still willing to buy skins.
The hard part wasn't getting something working, it was making it work at scale. Gameplay was another big one. We leaned heavily into the gameplay ability system. It's powerful and helped us get something up and running quickly, which, as many of you know, matters a lot early on. But TFT has...
I'm not even halfway through this fucking point, dude. What the crappy baloney is this? Is that Tim Sweeney at the end? For God's sake.
Sets, modes, and gameplay content that don't always ship.
Do I really need to finish it? I don't think I need to finish this at this point, right? I think I don't need to finish this anymore. Eldo, Eldo? I feel like I don't need. Thank you, Microsoft, for providing Unreal Engine most popular DirectX shader pipelines as a pre-compile shaders via content delivery. I'd say that's actually really good, actually. The speakers sound and behave more artificial than the AI avatars UE is able to create. Depths of blueprints in UE6. Why? Dev of blueprints in UE. Oh, dev. That is extremely nervous. What, dude? To get rid of blueprints and introducing generative AI code. Are you serious? Wait, I'm gonna actually move on to like Unreal Engine 6 because I don't need to actually even care about the League of Legends. Wait, maybe I do need to care about the no law. Hold on. I know for sure there's a game called No Law. I don't give a shit about Team TFT.
They won't be thinking about the engine at all. They'll just be playing TFT. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a great
Don't treat your customers like idiots. What are you doing?
Real Fest.
I'll take back what I said earlier. I think that's a bit way too offensive. Anyway, I wanted to know more about the game, the other game. Tor Freak.
I'm Tor Freak, creative director at Neon Giant, here to talk about No Law, the next game from our studio.
I am actually excited for this game, but also I'm a little bit skeptical.
In our first game, The Ascent, our small team pushed the out-of-the-box UE4 tech to its limit to make a highly detailed, lived-in cyberpunk world.
Oh!
For our new game, No Law, a high-fidelity, immersive, first-person shooter set in the unregulated city of Port Desire, we knew that our best starting point would be building a game around the core feature set of Unreal 5, because a small team like ours needs to work with the engine, not against it. Yeah. We realized early on that out of the box wouldn't be enough. We had to push beyond the defaults and build our own workflow inside UE5 to make the world we wanted. We're proud of what we did with The Ascent, and No Law is the next step in that same approach. Our constraint was specific. We didn't want the largest world, but the densest. A city that feels lived in at every scale, where every corner carries history and every surface tells a story. Port Desire is shaped by human clutter, cramped market alleys, layered graffiti.
No lore? What the fuck are you talking about? No law.
Worn stickers on electrical boxes. Spaces that feel touched.
You want me to say it in a Chinese accent? No law. No law. La law. Law. No law. So weird.
And retouched by the people that live there.
Okay.
Our goal was to tell a story with every frame, from a messy apartment where characters go about their lives to the skyline of the city. As a relatively small team, that ambition came with real challenges. We wanted extreme detail everywhere, but we also needed stability and performance without hand optimizing each location.
Yes.
For us, the answer wasn't a single system, but
no law or cost law? Cost laws are pretty good.
A shift in how we built the world. We prioritized density over scale, and we built a pipeline that let artists hand.
Oh, that hair is so bad. It's still muddy.
Craft spaces without constantly stripping detail back and without relying on procedural generation. Nanite is what made that approach viable. It lets us keep a high level of detail across surfaces without treating every asset as a trade-off between fidelity and performance. Our custom implementation of fast...
What is this? Chicken, beef, pork, shrimp, and tofu in unknown. None of these boxes are checked. Like, you already have this one taken out. So what is this? Like, you don't have anything that's been checked out in here? Maybe it's noodles, maybe. But, like, where is the detail of, like, checking it out? Where is that? Come on. Where is that? Which one of the fucking flavors is checked out? What was it?
Geo, in combination with the world partition system, enables a seamless experience that never breaks. It allows us to have details in every nook and cranny and tell a million small stories. In fact, we have more objects in any given frame than the entirety of The Ascent. With this workflow, we can preserve detail and density in every corner, from the smallest bolt on a freighter to the city as a whole, with no invisible walls and no loading. We build tools inside Unreal to help our artists handcraft the entire city.
Alley by alley, building
by building,
I don't think that's
block
it. That's what
by
it
block.
is.
To show Port Desire's full range as an urban city overrun with vegetation, we need a dynamic lighting. From the cozy, lush midday sun to the darkest, the most dangerous alleys where even the bright neon light does not reach. The challenge was maintaining a fully dynamic day, night, and weather system without unpredictable frame times. Lumen gives the foundation for fully dynamic lighting, and mega lights that are artists focus on the believability of the space instead of tuning every single light source. Every believable space needs dozens or hundreds of individual light sources. From the smallest blinking electronic warning light on a camera
that way as well.
to the large neon signs above a marketplace.
Why? Like, why? Why do you need to do that? Like, that's my question. Do you want to make every single detail as a part of the story when people are there to actually be immersive? But there is so many ways for you to make the player immersive with the world. I get that, like, you're a small team, but like to go over the top with this when you already have fantastic art direction for this, by the way, fantastic, by the way, but like you don't need to go into every single detail of this whole entire game to the point where like like the stability and the performance are getting literally tightrope about from exploding itself from the inside. It's worrying, bro.
Megalights allow us to retain the visual fidelity bar we're aiming for, while keeping performance considerations low.
But I do like how it looks.
Once everything is dynamic, it starts to affect the gameplay in more direct ways. Players can shoot out a street lamp, flood a space with a flashlight, or they can leave an area in darkness and have the AI NPCs react to light and shadow, shying away from glare, searching through darkness, or escalating when something feels off.
Let's see who's got the bigger gun, motherfucker!
This one short guy, motherfucker, he's crouching. Dude, come on.
Feel alive. We leaned on the mass framework to drive our crowds. NPC density and types shift based on time, day, region, and weather. In the slums, a storm clears the streets, but in the more sinful parts of Port Desire, even heavy rain won't slow things down. Mass lets us simulate thousands of characters at once, over 3,000 at any given time, which is also more than the entirety of the ascent. So the city always feels active, no matter where you are. We're also using MetaHuman, paired with our own character randomization system. Together with MetaHuman Animator, we can generate and bring to life thousands and thousands of variations of characters, so that the main characters and the extras in the background are all unique.
I really do feel like all of these character designs feel like Gen Z, but they're old. How smooth is it gonna run though? That's the thing. I don't know. You need to wait for the game to come out first. That's the thing.
We wanted a world.
Like they only show off cinematics piece by piece, but like you need to show off the gameplay, like the full gameplay. Sure, we have like smaller gameplay, but it's like inside a only smaller room. We need to see the whole entire thing.
That reacted systemically to the player, without us having to handle.
Like this is cool. Yeah, sure, but I want you to see how you play it. I need to see it.
Effects and destruction. Filling a world of this density and scale with contextual effects while maintaining performance and interactivity was one of our key challenges.
Yeah, remember when I said about like how like I asked them why do you need to go through this? Why do you need to go so far? I take back what I said. I totally understand why. Never mind. It actually looks really good. Ray tracing is good in theory, but it's a sorry excuse for devs to be lazy with how they manage the lighting and let the AI and our GPU to handle the heavy work. And also, it's very easy way for them to actually get the money from YouTube. By the way, 5090 and 5080s and also 5070s are also very crazily expensive too. Just to buy a $70 game, fucking hell no. That's why like, I would prefer to actually go to like AA games or like indie studios. There are much more better, reliable ways of like trying to spend money on and still get the same enjoyment for like playing a game. Like imagine running into the crowd and boom, 1 FPS. That's one thing I'm a bit worried about. Yeah, I'm a bit worried.
By combining PCG and Niagara data channels, environmental effects are procedurally populated where appropriate. Wherever artist plays trash or leaves, particles will spawn dynamically based on wind, weather, and player actions. shoot a bullet or throw a grenade, and particles will move out of the way. We combined chaos physics and our own GPU-driven solution to support tens of thousands of moving objects.
What the hell was that? Oh God!
Simultaneously. The result
That is
a reactive environment where smoke lingers.
Oh, that ain't gonna be good from a graphic card. I think when that happens, your temperature of a GPU will just like woo, and it like go down. Let me try to do
Solution to support tens of thousands of moving objects simultaneously. The result is a reactive environment.
I don't know what to feel about that.
Where smoke lingers, embers drift, and broken glass stays where it fell. Creating NOLA has been the process of finding where the engine ends and our custom tools begin. Achieving this level of density, light and complexity, and systemic reactivity was previously impossible for a studio of our size.
You can never have
By leveraging UE5's latest tech to bypass traditional development bottlenecks, we have finally been able to build the uncompromised version of the world we wanted to create for years. We can't wait for you to experience it. Thank you.
Hey, who the fuck? What do you mean, who the fuck? Who put their chopstick that way? What the fuck? What chopstick? I don't see the chopstick. Where's the chopstick? Who the fuck put the chopstick like that? You don't do that. What kind of... I see what your frustration is. That's so weird. Okay, I see why you're frustrated. Who in the name would be putting the chopstick like a spoon? You don't do that shit, man. You're not a true Chinese or a true Asian at that point, bro. I'm not even Asian. Maybe somebody died. Well, in this kind of city, I'm pretty sure somebody died. Yeah. It's probably more than one, too.
By leveraging UE5's latest tech to bypass traditional...
Did I see this right? I saw like a bot with testicles.
Bottlenecks. We have finally...
Yeah, I did. What is that? Oh, he looks like Optimus Prime, but he decided to have a dick transplant, bro. What the fuck? That's Optimus Prime. Whoa, putang ina Optimus Prime.
to build the uncompromised version of the world we wanted to create for years. We can't wait for you to experience it. Thank you.
You're not very excited about it, aren't you? Like, the way I look at him, he doesn't even look very happy. He doesn't look very excited at all. He just like, he got paid to make this kind of game so that he could just showcase this engine that he knew that it was gonna doom to fail, and he just like, I just want to fuck off. He's so devoid of emotions. Yeah, like, I don't know if this is just him, but like, there is no excitement from that eyes and that personality, bro. I am so sorry.
We can't wait for you to experience it.
I'm pretty sure he can't wait to leave the company right after releasing the game, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you.
That's what I feel like. I don't know, man. I'm a bit worried. What else?
Developer relations.
Fortnite developer. Alright, I think we can wrap it up. We don't need to watch this anymore. I don't really care. This whole entire thing is just such a waste of time. And there's Fortnite with Simpson. Okay, sure. I don't give a bloody damn thing about that. Yeah, I think like this whole entire thing is of like UE5. Wait. Like I want to see the UE6 stuff, right? Let me see this one at the very least. Oh, dog, for God's sake. Oh, God, man. Do I have to see this guy?
All right, at the Rocket League competitive series in Paris, we gave the world the first glimpse of Unreal Engine 6. And this is the next step in our mission, to make great games and tools and to share them with you so you can bring your ideas to life.
No, buddy, you don't try. You don't mean it to say that at all. I know for sure what you're trying to say is that we want you to actually use this ability to make as much slops as possible so that you can actually give us the money. That's it. I call those Teslas particles. Oh God, that's a pretty good joke. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm here to talk to you about what we're building now for the future.
Okay.
Today, things are kind of awkward. There's actually two different ways to build stuff in Unreal. There's building Unreal Engine 5 games for standalone distribution on stores with massive AAA features. And then there's the Unreal Editor for Fortnite feature set and tool set that enables you to build a game once and then deploy it to all platforms live into Fortnite with its 80 million monthly active users. Now, each of them has some really...
He can't get away from always saying 80 million. That's a lie. That I know for sure. There's no way you have 80 million users coming by.
That enables you to build a game once and then deploy it to all platforms live into Fortnite with its 80 million monthly active users.
I don't know. Something about it just feels fishy for him to say that.
Now, each of them has some really cool, unique features, but is lacking the features of the other one. And so our big initiative to bring them together is the core of the Unreal Engine 6 effort. It's UE5 plus UEFN equals UE6 plus some more cool stuff on the way. The vision is that if you build things once the Unreal Engine 6 way, then you can have a game that you can ship everywhere, including the console stores, the PC stores, the mobile stores, and also ship live into the Fortnite ecosystem or any other Unreal Engine 6-based game ecosystem built by any other developer. Now, in prior generations, we put graphics first in leading and announcing our technology. But with the Unreal Engine 6 generation, we're focusing first and foremost on the foundations of the engine to prepare for the next generation of game development and for gaming. And the most critical change here is the move to the verse programming language for gameplay development alongside the low-level C++ engine. And the reason for this is to enable massive scale code and content interoperability across games. Today we have a lot of content interoperability features. You go to the Fab content marketplace, you download a bunch of cool objects, you stick in your game, but then you have to wire them up and make it work yourself. In the Unreal Engine 6 generation, by having a unified set of APIs and a unified language that works everywhere, you'll be able to build smart assets that are completely portable between games and between projects and can be shared at any scale with the potential to have millions of developers collaborating together on a shared body of work that anybody can use.
Why are you saying the same shit over and over again? Like, I didn't hear anything what you said because, like, I just... Come on, my ADHD is turning up right now, bro. Come on.
Another hallmark aim for the Unreal Engine 6 generation is to enable far larger game simulations. The original Battle Royale movie in 1999 that inspired the Battle Royale genre of games, fortunately, just happened to have 100 people dropping onto an island. It's a nice coincidence because that's actually the maximum number of players our code base could support running on a single thread on a server. If they had 1,000 players, we don't.
So that's what he. So that's what the first comment said. Like, that dude is extremely nervous. So that's what he said. I'm sorry, but he looks like he's making excuses slash lies because he can't keep still and eye contact. I guess he's very weirdly nervous for it.
Been able to do it, but. The goal of Unreal Engine 6 is to introduce software and transactional memory technology, which Curtis Schmidt will talk more about later, in order to enable scaling of games to any amount of computers that can fit into a data center. Hundreds, thousands, potentially even millions in the future. And this is technology that's in the research lab, and the team...
This is the same guy who should talk about Gabe Newell, by the way. Like, this is the same guy who should talk about Gabe Newell for increasing the prices of Steam Deck and calling him out for actually wanting to buy more yachts. Ow. What the fuck?
Is working very rapidly to make into a practical shipping system. Another major aim of Unreal Engine 6 is something I first talked about at the SIGGRAPH computer graphics show back in 2016. There I talked about a potential future of gaming as an open system like the web is open, in which any developer can run a server, build a game, host their own content, and a user can go anywhere they want, from place to place, bringing all of their stuff with them, and tearing down the walls and barriers that exist between games to have a completely interoperable ecosystem. And you know, the Rocket League preview of Unreal Engine 6, if you looked at the very last frame of it, there was a little URL bar on top. The URL was verse://rocketleague.com. And we're tantalizingly close now to fully realizing this idea of an open gaming ecosystem with the ability to travel from game to game and independent developer freedom to build everything they want everywhere they go.
Buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing, buddy?
At Epic,
what the fuck are you doing?
Is to work with all developers in the industry to build this system together as peers.
Oh, sorry.
We want a system with no overlord. You know, we've been spending some time fighting against overlords in the industry with some amount of success. And we don't want to be the next one. Rather, we want to be...
I know who he's talking about. I know what he was talking about. Fucking piece of shit. It's alright.
A partner to every company in the industry, including all game developers and also other makers of technology and services, in order to build the best stuff and connect it all up together. And so a huge part of this effort is going to be Epic adopting open standards like the Pixar USD file format and GLTF, and also working with standards bodies and releasing specifications to bring new standards into the industry where they're lacking and needed. And I'll be talking more about that later, but right now I'd like to introduce Marcus Wasmer to talk about the architecture of Unreal Engine 6. Thanks.
What the fuck? What did I just witness?
So let's just take a second to look at the recent history of Unreal Engine. So Unreal Engine 4 opened the engine to everyone by making the tools free to use and the source accessible on GitHub.
Yeah.
And UE5 reinvented how worlds are built, helping you go bigger, add density and dynamic detail, and do it faster than ever before. UE6 has a different proposition. It's about evolving how we ship and operate our games. That said, UE6 will keep doing the things you want an Unreal Engine to do. Rendering will keep getting better, cook times will come down, iteration loops are getting tighter, mobile is increasingly capable. However, we believe for UE6 that there are three things about game development that need to change at the same time. First, gameplay programming needs to get simpler for creating persistent, live, large-scale worlds. And Verse is the foundation for Epic's future programming model. It's a next-generation language purpose-built to power massive, persistent game worlds at scale, where global state just works and transactionally correct concurrency is handled by the runtime.
I'm getting sleepy.
We've built a modern, high-level gameplay framework on top of Verse that gives you a true foundation to build games and experiences easily and to share their interoperable components between games.
Okay.
You'll hear more about our goals and architecture for this programming model from our technical director on the project in a few minutes. But for now, let's talk about the second guiding principle of UE6. Content and code should be portable across games and even engines.
Okay.
Our goal is to give the games industry a whole new way to grow our ecosystems with cross-promotion, portable player value, and to really lean into all the positive sum dynamics that Metcalfe's law predicts for connecting experiences and social graphs together. And we're going to do this with a determined effort to move UE beyond just extensibility and into open specifications for interoperability. Where existing standards such as GLTF or USD are capable of fulfilling our needs, we'll make them first-class formats within the engine. And where a standard doesn't yet exist that serves the needs of game ecosystems, we'll open up Unreal's own systems as open specifications with Verse APIs, defined asset conditions, and documentation that any engine, tool, or studio can implement against. And Fortnite Cosmetics will be our first real proof point of portability. We're going to start by moving the base system to an open UE6 module that's usable by all games. And this means that you'll have the option to use a player's entitled Fortnite outfits in your own games, and you'll get the tools to build outfits for your own games that work inside Fortnite. And we're tackling this problem first because we want to prove things out with a system that's complex enough to be a meaningful existence proof of the idea, and one that inherently comes with a ton of player value by respecting their purchases across an interconnected ecosystem of games. We see this as the first step towards building a shared economy for smart assets, functional assets with logic and functionality that work across games to recognize players' time and spending in a better way. In the end, this isn't really a Fortnite story. It's just about proving that such a mature, complex system can work at scale, and that every game that works with these systems will immediately benefit from them. Happily, we're taking the first concrete steps to such an open ecosystem right now. MetaHuman has been adopted by some of the most successful games in the world and is rapidly becoming a standard for digital characters. And that's why today we're announcing the MetaHuman Dev Kit, opening up our rig logic and MetaHuman DNA toolsets under the MIT license.
Bro, this is fucking boring. I am done. I am so sorry. I am done. I am done. Done. Don't dabati boo babe. Done. Fuck this. I am done. I am tired. I look at this whole entire thing. I'm like, God damn, there's more to this, but I don't give a shit. I don't want to spend time for this. I am tired. Like, genuinely. This is like bullshit. Like, you show off a game engine that is not very impressive when every fucking game engine has the same thing. It's just that you're just starting to catch up. And now you're telling me that the fact that, like, it's easier and conveniences when, like, AI bubble hasn't pop yet, and you're putting AI generation into, like, the coding of system into the UE fucking 5.8 and say it's a spectacular work when it looks AI slop? So, fuck off. Fuck off, dude. Yes, Kazan time. We're doing Kazan time. Fuck this shit, dude. Fuck this. I am so sorry, but, like, this is just horrendous. Absolutely, pinnacle annoyance. I'm not gonna watch this anymore. Fuck that. I'm gonna watch the Nasi Lemak from Sam Hungry. Hungry Sam. No, what is the point? What's the difference?